All right, so you're gonna need a couple of things to get started. You're gonna need DG Voodoo. You're gonna need Reshade with full add-on support. You're gonna need a make modding QUIT. This what makes the shaders look the way they do. I use lossless scaling for frame generation, and you're going to need the Reshade effect shader toggler. What this does is allow your UI to remain untouched while you have the graphics in your game. The next step for all of this is to find your bootloader wherever that may be. If you did a regular installation, it should be Windows R run at data. Mat data, maybe it's in Horizon XI launcher, but for me, it is in my computer Horizon XI game bootloader. Wherever it is, it's Horizon game bootloader. That's the end of the string for that. There are guides online how to install DG Voodoo and Reshade, so I'm not going to get into that so much. Only thing you need to worry about is making sure that you know where your Horizon game bootloader is. When you go into DG Voodoo, make sure that it's put to your bootloader, make sure your GTX or whatever you got is on, and then the same for Reshade. When you browse, make sure that it browses to the pol.exe for your installation, and make sure that when you do it, you press direct 10, 11, 12, and then install as the wizard instructs you to. All right, so next, I'm just gonna run the game real quick, and then you'll see that when you go into the game, on the top you'll see Reshade, and on the bottom you're going to see the DigiDo watermark. If you selected it, that confirms that you installed them to the right places and the right bootloader. Once you confirm that, press the home key, and I think after the shaders compile, you will be able to go into the settings for Reshade right here. So for the Reshade effect shader toggler, when you're on GitHub, don't go for here. That's for compilers and developers. Go to releases, click that, and click the latest release, get the zip file, and then you're going to see the files that you need to extract to bootloader. So let's see here. So I can show you. Where's it at? Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Oh, over here. All right, and go back into wherever I was. Bootloader. All right, get out. So right here, you got the release. You're going to put the add-on files in the bootloader itself where the Reshade INI is. That's an add-on for it. Next, you're going to take the FX sources that we talked about earlier, and that's going to go in right into the reshaders. I put it in the QNIT, so I know that they're together and there's not going to be a problem with certain things messing up and certain things not where they need. Once you confirmed all that, where everything needs to be, exactly how it needs to be, you can go ahead and log in, Horizon, and then we can go to Juno where I'll show you the differences between the graphics. All right, so we're in game now. As you can tell, it's not reshaded, it's not shaded at all. These are just the regular graphics with some HD mods. You're gonna press the home key, which brings up the UI. And then on the right side, the little plus sign, you can add new preset. You can name it whatever you want, name it whatever you like. And then over here, you're going to see all the FXs that you can add to the game. You know, I'm clicking them, but nothing's happening because it's not enabled yet. So in order to do that, you just press Shift Home. And you get a whole whatever it is that you want. Notice that the AI, the UI is blurry and a mess. You can't play like that. So we're going to show you how to fix that as well. So we're in game right now, and when you press the home key, you're going to see everything that you need to see. On the top side, there are already reshade presets that I have, including the one that makes the game look good, and a regular standard reshade preset. If you press Shift Home, it will enable whatever options that you put into the game. based on whatever you check off. If you want to make your own preset, all you gotta do is press the add new preset button, name it whatever you want, and then put whatever things that you want in there. If you don't like it, just press this open folder and just delete the INI from existence and reload. So I go to add-ons, and then there should be something called generic depth, effect run sync time, and if you did the add-on right, reshade effect shader installer. Click generic depth, copy depth buffer before clear operations, and make sure you pick the resolution with the highest draw cells. I don't know why, it just worked. I'll drop the preset for this in the DM so it's exactly how I have it, but you feel free to mess around, do some research on what these things do and what the buttons and the numbers do as well. All right, so add-ons, make sure that the highest draw cell is there, and then I'll just activate it. And you can tell already the differences without even having to show you. Now, if you have it up and the draw cells isn't the highest amount of verticals, click it, you miss some stuff. So when that happens, just make sure you have the highest draw cells, because I can mess around with the settings all I want. If it's not on this setting, it doesn't do anything, as you can see. But on my end, you can see that even with the shader settings the way they are, my UI is completely untouched, from the chat box to my HP to any add-ons that I would put. You know, the menu looks fine. It looks actually better than it normally does. So we're going to do a quick example with the reshade right now. If I activate this reshade with all of the effects that I have on it, it's going to affect the entire UI, and that's not something that we really want. So what we're going to do is we're going to exclude the UI from the shaders. So you're going to go into Home, Add-ons, List of new toggle groups, and we are going to make a new one. You can just go ahead and edit it to whatever name that you like. UI for you, whatever. Press OK. Also, you can make a keyboard shortcut, but we don't worry about it. Press OK, and then go into Settings. Now in the Effects tab only, you need to worry about, there are all of the effects and techniques that I have activated here. You're going to press Apply All Enable Techniques, which enables all techniques that we have currently selected. So how do you actually isolate the UI? Well, you're going to go to here where the new toggle group that you just made, and you're going to press Active. On the left-hand side, there are hex codes. Each hex code represents a shader or a pixel on the screen. And I think one of these is just the UI itself. As you can see on the bottom, there are UI elements. These UI elements are a part of the shader, but once you click the one that disappears the entire UI, like this one, that means those UI elements become excluded. So you're going to click it so it turns yellow, and then you're going to close, and you're going to press Save All Toggle Groups. And then you notice the difference when I activate it. It goes from regular to I can read the UI while having the same sort of whatever thing. Just to wrap this up, because this is take like 57. Home, reshade, preset, add-on, settings, generic depth. Make sure the draw cells are at the highest level. Make sure that your toggle groups are either A, all clicked, or apply all techniques, active, and you should be done. And then you can see if I unactivate it, the UI flickers on the left hand side. You can see the mini map and inventory mod like messing around. And if I want to activate this, I can. I can activate both at the same time, it's not a problem. And switch between whatever presets I like. And I think that's it. So if you have any questions, I can't help you outside of this. And the best way to do it is how I did it, and I just sink or swim. Bye.